But other than that, let's get into news. I have a whole bunch of topics, but they're just like splattered all over the place. So I'm just gonna run through them quick. I definitely am excited, and I know this is probably half of y'all don't really even give a fuck about this, but I am super excited about the new Pretty Cure movie, and not the one that's like coming out right now. It's the one that will be coming out in March of next year. And usually what happens is like a Pretty Cure movie will come up where it's like a mashup of the most recent teams, and then it'll be a solo movie with just those particular girls from the series that's currently airing in October. What happened is COVID happened, so they pushed everything back. So now the movie that's only supposed to be featuring the Healing Good girls is going to be a collaboration movie with the Pretty Cure 5 Go Go. And I know I'm saying all these terms, but the main reason I'm excited is because Pretty Cure 5 Go Go, that's where you see a shit ton of like crazy Sakuga Pretty Cure fights. Like those girls got whopped and they whopped in turn regularly. So hopefully with their return to the series, because I think it's been 15 years since that original series aired, with the return to form, hopefully we're gonna get some like hardcore magical girl like Sakuga in this fucking movie, like quality too. That's what I'm looking forward to. Other than that, the SS Gridman, apparently there was an SSS Gridman manga spinoff that focused on like the attachments. I forgot, what do you call them?
I know what you're talking about, like the robots that were part of the team or whatever, like the cars
and they had like humanoid forms and stuff like that. Yeah. So those guys, apparently they had like a manga spinoff, and I kind of want to see that animated because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were one of the most entertaining parts to that SSS Gridman form. So I was like, oh yeah. So that's finishing. But then there's also SSS what is it? Dynamon or Dynamic or something that is getting animated soon. But this one is just like a spin-off like slice of life. But those guys were so funny and varied that I was like, oh, I actually wouldn't mind seeing this animated with like the random excessive action scene.
So the new one is not a sequel then? It's just like in the same, I don't know.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't even know if the spin-off is a sequel. I just think it's
right,
probably...
because the way Gridman ended was pretty...
Final.
Final.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, it couldn't be because... Oh, okay, well, that's for another time. I'm not even going to dive into that shit. My Hero Academia is getting a gacha game.
It didn't have one? I'm shocked.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked too. Or maybe it does have one and it's just really low budget or like a low effort. But this one is getting advertised, so I'm assuming they're putting money into this one.
Oh, well, shit.
So
goodbye to somebody's wallet.
Yeah, somebody's about to lose a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. What else? Pacific Rim is getting an anime. So Netflix, I know we mentioned last week that like Netflix was like teaming up with a whole bunch of studios, but a lot of trailers dropped this past week, and we got like the Pacific Rim trailer. Even that new thing, what is it? Blood of Zeus dropped.
Yeah, that looks really good. It's on my list of things I just want to watch for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to basically... I thought about maybe like even covering that on my own shit, and I was like, no, I kind of just want to see what this is.
I mean, it looks good.
Yeah,
as far as the Pacific Rim goes, I'm such a shill for the first movie.
I love I haven't seen the second one, but I love the first one.
Don't bother with the second movie. It's really, really bad.
Oh, no.
Really, 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 really bad. And it's not the fault of any of the actors. They were just given nothing.
Shit.
They were given nothing to work with, and the whole movie itself felt like a giant tax write-off to the nation of China. So its value as a film is very low, and in my opinion also fucks up a whole lot about what made Pacific Rim good. I could probably just do a whole rant about Pacific Rim, but the gist of it is that, and this is not specific to this movie, which is why I'm gonna hold back, but sometimes when shows, movies, entertainment comes out, and you look at the demographic of the people who you expected to go versus the ones who showed up, sometimes it can lead future productions to think that they are dialing into the demographic who showed up better, but since they don't actually have any talent,
oh shit,
it fails. And so Pacific Rim, I think the sequel is like a great example of like a movie that no one really expected to do well. It was Guillermo del Toro, who is an auteur, not just a writer, a random writer director. So he captured something interesting, cool, and magical. But the movie was really like a general audience movie, and probably when they looked at the demos, they were seeing like kids and nerds showed up to see that film. And so the sequel was like, okay, instead of just being a story that is being continued by an auteur, Del Toro I don't think was involved in the actual direction of the movie, and the plot shifted and they just injected a bunch of literal children as the principal cast.
What?
Because I don't know why, it just felt like a very focus group concept, but once they did that, and once they, paid for half the movie budget with a giant block grant from the Chinese government, it meant that, like, the structure and the intent and the overall progression of the film was more captured by the demo and the money people rather than one particular vision of a movie. So it's really bad, but it's bad for predictable reasons. But the first movie is still fucking excellent. It's great. Like,
okay, so then
we don't get movies like that.
Yeah.
So actually, wait. I want to say that it may be the case that the Netflix series, whatever they're doing, is significantly better than the second movie. Just because I gotta check to see who's behind it, but I would guess that there was a lot of disappointment from Pacific Rim 2, and I would hope that the people they got are treating this as a passion project and not just like a shameless IP dump. Because, the movie also flopped, too, so that's the other thing.
Oh, boy. Well, maybe I did see something about the second one being bad, and maybe that's why I was like, I'll get around to it. But this looked interesting, so I was like, I'm definitely going to give it a chance, because I did enjoy the first movie. So, like, my faithfulness is to the first, and so that's where that's my reasoning behind being at least a little bit excited about it. Damn, I did not know that second movie was ass.
It was hot garbage.
Was it a direct sequel, or was it like a reboot?
Yes, it was a direct. It was a direct sequel that featured none of the principal cast.
What the fuck?
Yep. Except for the Japanese lady, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, but I don't know. Okay, well,
and John Boyega was in it. John Boyega,
in addition,
he was doing his John Boyega stuff, and he was really good, but he had nothing to work with, so I don't blame him.
Oh, damn. Oh well. Also, I'm really fucking excited as far as Netflix goes for The Spoke Rohan Kishibe. Now, I'll take anything for JoJo. Anything that gives me more JoJo, I'll fucking take it. So, I know this is like a spin-off thing. It's like a short manga, isn't it, though? It's like only 4 chapters or something like that.
It's 4 chapters, but they're longer than normal chapters.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, like I've never read that. I didn't even know it existed until they announced that. Actually, no, I know that they're doing a live action version of it, but the live action version got announced before this anime version got announced. So that's how I found out that it existed, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, I wonder if they're gonna... And then boom, here comes Netflix. So that should be good. Also, if you are into the BL stuff, kind of thingamabobs, then the Given Anime's film trailer dropped, and holy shit, it looks like it is going to be messy as fuck. I understand why that BL manga is selling so fucking hard. Like, that trailer alone, and this is just a movie, like there's so much more content even after what the movie has. So I'm just like, this is why this is selling so much, because this is some messy ass shit with a love triangle, and that's not even the main storyline. So That's all I got for this week.
Cool. On my deck, there's just more rumblings about Sony's attempts, likely successful, to buy Crunchyroll. I don't know if that really will have much impact on anything other than what shows up on Crunchyroll's licensing plate. Because then I don't know if they're currently licensing anything that Sony owns, but there's a possibility that maybe some of the anime, such as Zammed, that we talked about. Last month.
Oh, if that comes
shows
up.
Yeah, movies and shows that Sony bankrolled and may have been lost just because the weird right stuff. Like, I don't really know where. I guess you can buy Zammed on Blu-ray, but I don't think there's any like streaming rights out there anymore, because it used to be. It was designed. It was paid for as like a Yeah, I think it was paid for as like a PSN exclusive, but nonetheless, Sony also has a pretty big anime movie catalog. A lot of things that aired in Japan or were first run in Japanese movie theaters. And then just got limited releases in the U.S. It might be an opportunity to promote some of that stuff. So I don't know. It hasn't gone through, but all signs look to that purchase happening either by the end of the year or by 2021. So, keep your ears up. Also, it may affect the platforms that Crunchyroll is available on. I highly doubt they're going to do something petty like pull it off of the Xbox Live service, because that's just free money for them. Like, why would they fuck over their customers that are living in that ecosystem?
That's
but
stupid.
Weirder things have happened, and of course, like with Xbox and Microsoft playing hardball with Bethesda game rights, now that they bought those studios, it could be kind of a tit for tat. But who knows? It's small fish in the scheme of things, money wise. But who knows? So there's that. A note about the effect that movies and TV series have on Tankobon volume sales. Demon Slayer somehow took all the top 22
yes,
spots.
I saw that shit.
In Japan. I'm like, that for a series that's been over for quite some time, just shows you how much the Demon Train movie is really, really pushing sales really, really hard.
It broke the yen record, didn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, what do you expect? I guess still doing quite well.
I mean, I heard people's thoughts about the end of the manga, and they were like, it was good, but no one has really been saying that like it was so amazing and blah 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 blah. I'm like, why is it so popular? Like, why is it?
Well, the ending wasn't bad. It was that it was polarizing in a couple of ways. Number one, it ended. So that's the thing, is that a lot of people wanted it to keep going.
Oh. So it could have kept going.
It probably could have. And there were character deaths and changes and other things that hit a lot of folks pretty hard. So that's one end of it. Another end could be that it was a marathon to get through the final arc, which is really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Has some great art and some pretty impactful things occur. But, it's not necessarily something that if you're a fan of specific characters and they die or they get offed or like something happens to them and the resolution is they're gone, that can rub people the wrong way. And then lastly, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't finished it, but the ending is a final goodbye to a lot of things people invested a lot into.
Oh.
And I understand why some folks were just cool on it. It's kind of how I feel about Attack on Titan's trajectory for an ending, which is fine. It doesn't make it bad. Sometimes things just have to go.
Yeah.
And the author kind of tells you from the beginning what the ending is going to be anyway, so it's not like it should really come as much of a surprise to anyone who's a big fan of the series. I feel the same way about Attack on Titan in a lot of ways, even though that one seems to have been put together more in a more ad hoc kind of fashion, because I think it was supposed to end after after they get out of the war or they get to the sea. That was supposed to be the ending of the series, and then the author and the editors decided to continue it.
That was supposed to be the ending?
Yeah, more or less. I'm not mad.
I would have definitely felt the way if that was the ending of Attack on Titan. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean I totally understand. Then we've got a couple of teasers or a few teasers. We got more information on Final Fantasy 16. Looks great. We got main character's name, some other art, and descriptions of some of the gameplay. I'm still waiting on a long form gameplay video, so we can actually like see all the systems working. But otherwise, looks cool.
I'm waiting for some party members. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, definitely. I think some people are worried that there might not be any, which I think is impossible. Come on.
Well, no.
That's how these Final Fantasy games are about the party.
I know Homie has spent so much time on Final Fantasy 14 that I feel like he should know better. Like, he is so used to like fan input. He should know that one of the main things people wanted more from 15 were more party members.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we have anything to worry about there. Then we had the teaser trailer for Spriggan. We talked a little bit about it last week as just a recommended movie, and that it was coming back. But we finally got some teaser information on Netflix. It looks good. It's going to be primarily a 3D animated production. Those are hit or miss with me. There's some that are really good. I enjoyed like Ajin. I thought that was actually way better.
Ooh, I actually haven't watched that. Was that good?
It was way better. I read it first, and so when I saw it was going to be 3D, I was like, I don't know about this. But after you get about halfway through the first season, it really grows on you, and then the second half is actually very good. So, those productions are hit or miss for me. Spriggan is a particularly brutal universe, and so there's a part of me that would love to see more of a hand-drawn approach that made it look like the movie. I mean, the manga was out in 89, I think, so it's really on that older end of stuff. I mean, if you're familiar with like Mamoru Oshii's work, like the artist that did the manga was borrowing heavily, I think, in a lot of designs from that. So it's like it has a classic look, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so to me, those types of shows or those types of productions benefit from also kind of having like a retro to the 90s rather, but like a retro art style. But it is what it is. I have an open mind. And then the last thing is Yasuke. We got some character designs, and they look really good. This would be, I don't know. Like, there's no release date yet.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like spring 2021. But we talked sort of in the first few episodes of Anime Savants about LaShawn Thomas and our hopes and fears about black creatives in the anime space. And for the one thing you can say is that his work and the works he's been associated with don't look bad.
Exactly.
And this looks pretty good, and it's obviously being produced by MAPPA.
Oh!
So we can't be too upset, I would hope. Maybe with a stronger editorial or directorial hand around the production.
MAPPA really is like in their bag. What the fuck?
They're going hard. I mean, I heard that Flying Lotus is doing the music too. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're really like on it.
Yeah, they're hitting right now. So that's pretty much what I got for this week.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for me too. So,